Hi everybody, in this video I wanted to discuss a couple of ways that you can control access to your Nitrado DAYZ custom private server. So if you've invested in a private server for DAYZ, you probably just want to keep it for you and your friends probably, or maybe even for paying people, such as people who are patrons on Patreon, or so they might pay you via PayPal, or they might be YouTube members, paying YouTube members on your YouTube channel. Or you might just have like an email group. But in this video I really want to talk about how you can control access through changing your password, obviously, and then really looking at YouTube member posts and Discord is the other way as well, which I think are particularly powerful ways of controlling access. So in your Nitrado account, in your services account, if you click on the little gears icon via the web interface, that'll take you over to the web interface, funnily enough. And then if you just go over to settings and general, this is where you can change the name of your server and then input your password for your server. So that's kind of the first step. And once you've changed the password, what you can do is you just hit restart server. Everybody will be kicked out, and then they'll have to enter that password as you go along. At the moment, this is the only way that you can control access to your server. You can't ban individual people, you can't have a whitelist, you can't have a blacklist. It's purely done by a password. So if anybody has that password, they can get in. So you're going to need to follow basic password procedures, and that really is, have a password that's not super easy to guess, like DAYZ, and change that password, like every week, or at least once a month. So if that password gets out there and other people get it, they won't swamp in and start spawning the fun for the people on your password. Now the question is then, how do you get this password out to the people who are giving you money, for example? So let's say you've got a Patreon, and what you basically ask people to do, if they want access to your private server, for example, like I do, I say, well, look, join my Patreon, give me $2 a month towards, and that basically goes towards renting the server, and then I'll give you access. And it sounds easy enough, doesn't it? And then when you do that, you'll get a list of you'll have people's emails, and you could email people. That would be one way to do it, but that gets a bit long-winded, especially if you had lots and lots of members. Say you had 100 people doing it. There's lots of emails. I know you could create email groups, but the better way, I think, is to use it in conjunction with Discord. Now, Discord is super powerful. And if you don't know Discord already, it's basically a chat client that you can have running on your laptop or your PC or your phone, your Android phone, your iPhone, anything like that. Where you can have lots and lots of different what we call text channels down on the left hand side. These are all welcome and rules, beginners guides, Rob's links, and obviously you can be having discussions in these things. People can post there as well as they join their Discord. But what is very important is you can go into these channels, and you can set who can have access to these channels. So you can go into the edit channel, and then you can look at permissions, and you can create different permissions for people to go. So for example, this one, I could say, okay, so anyone who's a member of my Patreon, or what I would call a trusted survivor, I could then give them access to the channel in order to read messages. So for example, in this channel, which is all about welcoming, I don't want people to be able to send messages, I just want people to read them. So that's on there. And then what you do is, you can go into your go into the channel and go into the server settings. When you go into the server settings, you'll see your members, and then you can give people roles. So you could say, for example, you are a trusted survivor in this case, which means that they've got a certain level of access to the Discord, or they are a member of the PS4 private server, and that means that they then can, if we come down here, they can then have access to this Discord channel. You might be able to see a little padlock there, and they can go into there, and only the people who I have said have that role can get into that server. Then in that server, I can then type something like at PS4 private server, and I can hit the password for our private server is this, and the name is this, and that will then go out as a notification to people who are in that PS4 private server, so they can then log on and they can go in. So for example, when I change the password, or if I'm thinking about doing a full server reboot, though I tend to just let it sort itself out, they will then get that information. Now you can tie together Patreon and Discord, so that when people become a Patreon, they are then given a role automatically in your Discord, which could then give them access to a particular channel, and you can set that up. Sometimes I find that doesn't always work though, so what I tend to do is manually go in as well, and as soon as someone becomes a Patreon, I'll give them a role, in this case of PS4 private server. They can then go on the private server and they have access to it, and that's a real powerful way. And the beauty of using Discord in this way is that not only do we use the PS4 private server to tell people about what the password is, what the channel name is, that sort of stuff, but we have a chat as well. What are people going to be doing, what they're planning to do, general information about the state of the server. Is it up, is it down, have we got any special events going on, all that sort of stuff. And Discord is incredibly powerful for that, because again it comes with notifications, so you can put somebody's name before your message, and they'll get a notification about that to do that. So Discord and access to your DAYZ Nitrado Power server is I think that's probably one of the most powerful ways of doing it. Now, another way which you can do, and I kind of do at the same time, but I know some people might work, is the fact that if you say you don't use Patreon, and you use something like YouTube memberships. Now this is sometimes I think this is maybe a better way of doing it, but I'm not sure. The beauty with Patreon though is that you can change things, and lots of people know about Patreon. But the idea with the Google membership is people join that, and then for about $5 a month they become a member of your channel, and you can choose to give them certain special emojis. You can do member only posts, and this is where it comes in. So what you can say is, you can say, well, if you want access to my Nitrado PlayStation or Xbox, or I guess PC as well, private server, you need to become a member of my member of my YouTube channel. So you can do that, and then the way that you tell them what the password is and what the server name is, you simply go up here to for some reason it's normally the upload video thing, and you create a post. And what you can do on this is you can create a post where the visibility here is only for paid members. And I know there's a YouTuber who does this. I can't remember his name. What's his name? Give me a second. It's Don Sibley. That's it. It's that guy. Don Sibley does his this way, and I thought, yeah, that's a real clever way of doing it. And so what happens is every week he will go in here and he will do a paid member post where he'll say, "Hi guys, the new password for our Xbox private server is this," and he changes the password every single week. People get that and go on. And there you go. So that's two ways of controlling access to your Nitrado DAYZ server with respect to YouTube, memberships, Discord, and Patreon. But in all of this, just do remember that at the moment, the weak point is the fact that it is only controlled by a password. And if somebody in your patronage or someone in your YouTube membership does decide to post that password to their mate, or let it slip, in a stream, someone will say, "What's the password?" and somebody might say it out or type it in the chat. That then becomes compromised. And then what you want to really do then is go in, change the password, restart the server, and then tell everybody again through Discord or through a Discord private channel, or through a YouTube paid members post. Okay, so hopefully that's giving you some good ideas how to secure your server and to get the people in that you want. There are many other ways of doing it as well. You could have Xbox groups, you could have PlayStation communities, you could have email groups, all these things you could have. But personally, I think the link with Discord and the link with YouTube memberships is a particularly good one, especially if you want, and Patreon obviously is a particularly useful one, especially if you want people to contribute to the running of your server. Okay, that's enough from me. I hope that video is useful. If you've got any questions or comments, put them below, and I will see you again soon.